Hi, in this video we're going to be looking at how we can connect the MIDI from Pro Tools into a synth that we've created. So at the moment I've got two applications running. I've got Max MSP, which I have a simple sine wave synthesizer, and it receives MIDI in, which is sent to X note in 1. And this is different to the X noting I've shown before. It now has the ability to look at different channels. So it's currently set up to look at channel 1, so any other MIDI channel information would be ignored by this particular synth. So X note splits into note, velocity and note on or off. The velocity is transformed by mTOS into a frequency value, and then that is sent to our cycle object. The note on and off goes between 1 and 0, and this is fed to an ADSR, which basically applies an envelope, which is mixed together by this multiply signal object. Make sure that your synth's audio is on. Now the main difference we need to do is if we double click on the MIDI in, you will find a list of all the keyboards that are connected to your computer, and also it will have two Max 1 and two Max 2, and these are basically a couple of MIDI ports that are a part of Max. So instead of it being a keyboard, we need to select two Max 1, and that means that this synth will receive any MIDI data that's sent through that port. So that's the Max MSP side of that setup. And now in Pro Tools, what I need to do to control that, if I go to track, create a new track, and what we want to do is we want to create a MIDI track. So we're just creating the one, and this gives us a MIDI track on there. Now what we need to do is set this MIDI track to actually output to Max MSP. So the way we do that, if we click on this little window view selector there, and make sure that the I/O part is actually selected. So if we just have a look at I/O for this channel. Now on the output I/O, if you select that, you will see that we can either select to Max 1 or to Max 2. And so because our synth was set up on to Max 1, we have that there, and we've also got the ability to select which different channel information is sent. So we're going to say channel 1 on there. And when we now, if we sort of draw in some sort of data, this is now routed. So any MIDI information on this MIDI track will actually be routed to the input of Max MSP. So if I sort of take this to the beginning and then play it, so there we go. So that's simply linking together Pro Tools and Max MSP. If we want to change the actual channel, so we could have multiple signals going towards this, we'd need to change the output channel on this MIDI track, and then in Max MSP, if we actually have a look at it, we could change the channel that's received that. So you would need to do that if you've got multiple channels from that.